made the list! Oh, sorry, I didn't realize it was recording. What's up, guys? It's Chris Jericho, the list of Jericho. Look what it says right there. You just made the list. This is a GameStop Ringside Collectibles shared exclusive. There you can see the price I paid for it, $22.99 before taxes. So this is very expensive for just a basic Elite. Now, I think it's a little cheaper at Ringside Collectibles, but you do have to pay shipping, so your mileage will vary depending on how you want to pick it up. This is Chris Jericho wearing like a yellowish, purplish red attire. The box is made to look like the list of Jericho. And it says, includes list of Jericho, drink it in, man. And the cool thing about this is I know that a lot of times the exclusives don't really go all out unless they're a Ringside Collectibles exclusive or a Comic-Con, but this time around for GameStop, they went all out. They made this box look like the Ring of Jericho on the back, the Ring of Jericho, a blooper reel, the list of Jericho. On the back of the box, you can see an actual list of Jericho, listing all the people that's on it. Let me zoom in so you guys can actually read it, because I think it's very funny, the people that they have on the list. And there is Chris Jericho, a nice illustration of him, and I want to point out that WWE action figure collectors are on the list. So that means all of us and everyone watching the video, we just made the list! So, yeah, so that's unfortunate, but whatever. Maybe you wanted to make the list, but here is the list of Jericho, the exclusive action figure, only at GameStop and Ringside Collectibles as far as I know. Let's open it up. Let's see if you can actually remove the back and make it like a list of Jericho. Unfortunately, you can't, because if you saw the back of the box, it looks like the back of the packaging behind the blister card and stuff like that, or whatever it's called. You can see it says list of Jericho, so I thought if you rip this off, it would go off with it, but they are separate pieces, so that might be a blooper reel. So if you were hoping to have your own cardboard list of Jericho, unfortunately the set doesn't really give you that. You do have this backdrop though, if you want to use that as a nice backdrop. You take the figure out of the box, and here he is, Chris the Jerichoholic. He comes with an oversized, oh, that's lost, I'll never find that again, and a list of Jericho with no paper on it. That's a little unfortunate. I would have liked to see just a small bit of paint to make it look like he has a piece of paper there so he can actually write stuff down. And look how thick this binder is. Holy cow. Yeah, that's really unfortunate that they didn't just put some white there to make it look like a piece of paper. Oh, it's time to get professional. It's on the rotation table, baby. Display turntable. I do like this attire. I couldn't exactly pinpoint when it was from, but I do believe it was from a Raw episode where he faced Samoa Joe, I think April 11th, 2017. Maybe I'm a little wrong on that date, but I think the biggest downfalls to this figure is the lack of just like a look-alike tattoo on that arm, because his arm looks extremely bare, and because this is a highly detailed attire, you will find some things don't match up. Some of the decals they placed aren't perfect, and I'll get to the accessories soon, but I think the face is successful. They could have maybe lightened up his hair and stuff like that. Might be a little too dark for Jericho, but I do think the attire looks very nice on this outfit. Here's a question for you. Do you wish they used like glossy and maybe some sparkly paint? Because this was a highly sparkly attire, but right now it just looks kind of bare bones and really blase. Like, it does pop because you got the yellow and the purple, but if they used a little bit of sparkle in there, it would look incredible instead of just using those dots to signify that it was shiny. I think that this would be an incredible figure if Mattel started doing stuff like that for wrestling toys. You know, how cool would that be? Right now it's time for your boy to rip this thing apart and say why it's awful. I do like the scarf. That's like my favorite part of this figure. Let's take it off. Easy to take off. Now, the problems I have is that this torso is way too small. This is not Jericho's contemporary torso. I think give him Shinsuke Nakamura's torso and we're good to go. As I mentioned, the attire, it's good, but you're gonna get some points of it where things don't exactly match up. And the weird thing is, I think because he's short or something, these might be new boots. Maybe I just never noticed it before, but if you want to rotate, the J always stands there, and I think that looks just straight up awful. This is built into the knee bend, which is beyond weird in my opinion, but it is a dual hinged knee, so I don't know if this is new or old. It's probably old, and I've just never mentioned it or noticed it because we don't often get contemporary Jericho figures, and I think that's upsetting to see that. But yeah, those are the biggest flaws with the figure itself. Now let's get to the flaws with the actual accessories. Alright, he comes with the Giant Arse Pen, which does fit in his open hand, which is very nice to see. So he can actually write things. Is he right-handed? Yeah, I think he is. And if my heel camera would ever focus, you could see what I'm talking about. There we go, baby. But look at the other hand he has. It's a fist. So let's have him hold the List of Jericho in that hand. Yeah, he doesn't. You need to, like, finagle it. You need to, like, big time figure out how to finagle it so that it kind of holds it or something. And like, what the heck, Mattel? How difficult is it to just give him another open hand so he can actually hold this thing instead of having to spend like 5 minutes to get it to work? And then like you finally have it, but I don't think that looks as good as it would be if he could actually hold it in his hand. He just kind of looks weird and kind of like he has like I don't know. I just don't like it. And I think that this figure really suffers by not having two open hands, you know? Like, I do think that the torso is wrong, and I think those boots are weird, but I think the biggest flaw is that they didn't give him two open hands, because, like, it's so stupid. How stupid can you be, Mattel, to not do that? And you know what I think, Mattel? I think you just made the list! And this figure's good, but we're getting like another basic that's basically like it. That pen's so freaking huge, dude. Have you guys ever used a pen? That's like a freaking marker, like one of those giant markers. So yeah, there are many flaws in this figure. So I know a lot of times the GameStop exclusives go on deep clearance, so I might wait for that with Chris Jericho, because there are some huge flaws in my opinion that keep this figure from being great. Also, wouldn't you guys have liked vested Jean Jericho as the exclusive, and then we got the wrestling attire in the regular line of Elites instead of two Jerichos that look very similar, just a different head or something and attire? That's my opinion. That is 100% my opinion. And yeah, just wait for this to go on discount, guys, because I don't think it's a necessary figure release. There are so many flaws in it that I can't really see it being worth like around $25 if you're in a high tax state. So that's my opinion, guys. What's your opinion? Did you pick it up? Are you excited for it still, even though you know its downfalls now? Or do you think I'm just being too picky because people think that? Oh, and I need to laugh. I'm sorry if this wasn't family friendly, but look at that. The back says GOAT, which is accurate, and I forgot to mention that. I'll just throw in a picture there. So if you guys are still watching, even though I started doing my end thing, you can give this video a thumbs up because you stayed to the end. And I think that this figure kind of is poodoo, but is kind of good, if you get what I mean. Ciao.